shave this lip down, make it smooth, and fill the gap with epoxy.
Yeah.
I'm also going to have to clean up the threads on these bolts because they got epoxy on them. Done. Well, I put this first coat of varnish on yesterday morning, and I was hoping that today it would have dried enough that I could sand it and put a second coat on. But so far, the first coat is still quite tacky, and I'm getting a little concerned that it's not drying. What I used is Epiphen's, and I mixed it for the first coat 50% with the thinner there, and it went on nicely. We kind of rolled it on, tipped it, and not drying very well. I'm in the basement here, so I've brought a dehumidifier in, and I've brought a heater in, and we'll see if we'll keep those running and see if that will help the drying process. Well, it's been 3 days now since I put the varnish on, and it's still not setting up properly. Where I've got everything coated with West epoxy, and it's still tacky. Where I put varnish onto some of the spars and stuff that didn't have epoxy, it seems to be drying okay. So it looks like there's a reaction happening between my epoxy, the West epoxy, and my Epiphen's varnish. So either I didn't clean all of the amines off, or it's still not totally cured. But whatever the problem, I gotta fix it. So I'm gonna have to somehow get this half-dried varnish off. So I'm gonna try some solvents and see what happens. Okay, got some methyl hydrate here. Gonna see how methyl hydrate works. So I'll use it on the rudder. Nice and tacky. See if I can rub this stuff off. not working too well. Doesn't seem to be working too well. So, what seems to be working is I'm wiping down what I varnished with Epiphen's brush thinner. And it seems to loosen the varnish off and bring it off. And then I'm going over it again with this methyl hydrate with another rag. And it seems to, in most places, done a pretty good job of taking the varnish off. This is one piece that I've done. That's a few tacky places I still have to kind of work on, but it seems to be working. So now I gotta go after the rest of the boat and take all the varnish off that is on there now. And it stinks in here. I'm gonna have to take this outside. Well, with a combination of these two thinners and solvents, I think I can take most of the varnish off here. I've had to move outside because I tried one piece inside and I killed a lot of brain cells, I think, and I don't have many left. So I'm coming out and you can still see it's quite tacky. So I'm gonna show you what I'm doing here. Killing as many brain cells.
It's better out here.
Yeah. So last night I put a new varnish onto a little test piece here, and it's less than 20 hours and it's dried completely. I could probably even sand it right now too. So I'm quite happy with the varnish. So I feel safe now to use this varnish on the rest of the boat. So the varnish that worked out well for me is this Pettit Z-Spar, and I'm going to try that and see how it works. This expensive stuff from Holland, Epiphen's, I'm afraid that I'm going to have to retire it. It's supposedly a really good Dutch product. I'm sorry anybody that's Dutch out there, Tony, Lika, I'm going to retire this or do my lawn chairs in the backyard or something like that. But it's not going on my boat. So next step is to varnish again. Okay, we're going to try varnishing again. Big tooth. Okay, I've got 2 coats of varnish on most of the pieces of the boat, and I think I'll kind of quit at that. They're looking pretty good. I could really go crazy and put multiple coats on, but most of these pieces have been coated with epoxy, and just putting the varnish on there to protect it, make it look good. The mast and the sprit and the boom, they've got 2 coats of epoxy, and because they, or 2 coats of varnish, and because they weren't epoxy, I might end up putting a little bit more on that just to give it a bit more protection. So hopefully we got most of the Varnish disaster behind us. I've put 2 coats of varnish on everything I'm going to varnish in the boat, so the top part of the cockpit and the coamings and the bulkheads, they've got 2 coats of varnish over the epoxy, and most of the ports and seats, they've been epoxied and varnished, so they are good to go. Next step is to paint the bottom of the cockpit. It's going to be the same paint going in there that's going to go on the other side of the hull. So that's the next step. We leave the varnish disaster behind us, and hopefully we won't have a paint disaster coming up.